it's having this easy way of doing things once you learn it. Of course, it's a steep curve at the beginning, but we are getting there, and we're keep doing some exercises. I'm not sure about those hangers there, the color, so I'm just gonna explore what else can look good. But then we can start working on the landscape, and that is what is going to dictate all our post-process settings and all our lighting. So main thing, the landscape and adding the trees and stuff like that is what is going to define the final product. So if you see it like this, don't worry, it's just there is still a lot of work to do to it, but at least most of the materials are done and are ready to be presented in any case. So just gonna start preparing for that, for the landscape, and get back to you. So now let's explore what the landscapes are. So I'm gonna go in here. Remember when we chose this, or when I show you some of them. So I'm gonna go into landscape here, and you will see landscape is already added. Well, it's not added yet, it hasn't been created, but here is the location effect, and for some reason always starts in 100, so I'm just gonna place that to 0, and probably minus 20, well, minus 100, I think it's a better way to do it. I'm going to reduce the section size of this, so this is basically what the size of this map is going to be. Let's see, 15 by 15. Well, I think might be too small for this. Well, I guess there is no midterm of that, so I'm just going to use the 31 by 31. And section, we can leave that as it is. All of this, it's fine at the minute. You also have options to import from a file, like from a height map, but just for this, let's keep it simple. So I'm just going to create the landscape, and now I've got the sculpt available for me. So I can sculpt from here with different brushes. So basically, if I drag up, it's gonna drop some mountains there. And if I go with pressing shift, it's going to do the opposite. So go into like in invert direction. We also have the erase, so it's gonna delete any changes we made in here. So if I go back to eye level, you see no more of those changes we did. We also have some smooth for our brushes. So if we, for example, do it something like this, and then we want to smooth this surface, we can reduce the tool strength and the brush size, and we can smooth the surface out. And the flatten is pretty much the same. I mean, as it sounds, it's just to flatten this surface like that. The ramp is just to, well, haven't used this, to be honest, so let me see. Well, it's just adding a ramp. It's quite nice, actually. So reset, and let's add a ramp, and create another ramp, but not gonna use that for this project. You can also always play with this and the erosion as well, and the basics ones are these 4 in here, and we can explore this at another video more advanced, and you also have the blueprint there. I'm going to erase everything here, just set this back to where it was, and I want to start sculpting this around the house. So this house, it's a little bit on a hillside, so I'm gonna use the sculpt one. I'm just going to reduce the size slightly to maybe 750, then 0.2, and let's start sculpting here, just around this area there. So I'm gonna press Shift and I'm just gonna drop down just tiny clicks. Gonna go to this side here. Okay, got that. We can just reduce the size with in here, but just to do the final tricks. But I think it should be fine in here. But now we want to have this coming up because we want to set at almost to this level. So just gonna drag this up. And let's reduce the size to maybe 250, just so we can play with this a little more. Well, I was gonna say more specific areas, just small areas here, and there. Maybe put this up a tiny bit. Maybe we smooth this surface just around there, and maybe around this area as well. So I'm just sculpting this, and to be honest, don't spend too much time on it, because we are gonna focus also on adding vegetation to it. So as long as it's something believable, that should be fine. So just gonna do a little bit smooth in here and there, and maybe flatten, bring this down a tiny bit there with Shift. Okay, so probably we can smooth this a tiny bit as well. So I'm just going to increase this to 150, and I can smooth this surface like that. So I'm gonna get back to sculpt, maybe 250 or even 500, see what size gives us. So this is going to be like a set in a hill. So just let's do this bit here, a little bit hilly, and this goes down. Okay, I'm just pressing Shift and bringing things down. Something like that. Maybe even bigger of a brush. Let's see how that looks from here. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. It looks all right. And remember, we're gonna put some vegetation around it and some rocks and things like that. So gonna keep sculpting this, just this side here. Just bring it up. And I'm going to just speed the video, but just you will see what the process will be, and you can follow along. Just try to create like a hill, that goes up to this point, like down. Okay, so yeah, I did some sort of heal for this project, and I think it should be all right. I mean, we can add some. What we can do is on the borders add some geometry there, just to like block the views, but the long distance view. But let's see how it works with our vegetation, and see if we need to do something else on our landscape. But I think this is a good start. It's just sort of like a hill, and probably this can go a little bit up as well, just going something like that, not that much, and then smooth things out. But I guess we can stay, if we were to like do like a perfect thing, we're gonna stay here forever. So just something decent like that will do the trick, and just just make sure that at least the floor is connected there, and it doesn't hide too much of those details that we want to showcase. So I'm gonna go here to 50, and then probably is too much, and there it's a 0.2. Maybe you can even flatten it a tiny bit there, just there you go. Yeah, something along those lines. Then we'll put some vegetation and rocks in it. So with that done, we can start adding a material to our landscape. So let's go into selection mode, and just gonna look in here and look for let's look for a ground. I think it's on surface ground, and see what we can find. I've got already this Nordic forest. Also got this with pine root. Let's see. Dry falling leaves. Well, I think we can use this one here, Nordic forest ground pine, and I'm gonna bring it into high quality and then download. You can use whenever you find that is the best, and you got plenty here in Quixel Megascan. So that is done. Should have been added now. So if I go here on Megascans, let me just do this here. Where's the forest ground here? Now I can go in here, select my material, and drag this landscape material to that. So first thing you're going to notice is that there is a lot of repetition in there, and let's just decrease the tiling. So let's make it 0.2 to see how that looks. Yeah, I think it looks way better that way. Although seems like I'm not the really big fan of this material. So let's look for another one. Maybe, I mean, this ground with most leaves, maybe that's gonna be a good match for this. Just to try things out. So just gonna drop that in and then do the same 0.2. Yeah, I think I can work with this. Maybe it's too much green in it, and so I'm just gonna go to the saturation here and maybe put down to 0.8. Okay, we'll need to cover this, but don't know if we can test another one right here. So forest floor, dry river, forest floor, mossy forest floor. Let's try this one. I think it's darker and it's gonna look better than this here. I'm not too convinced on how this looks, so it's just gonna add that in, and forest floor again, and then just drag that into my landscape. And I'm gonna do the same thing. 0.2. Yeah, I think I prefer this one instead. So it's the forest floor, that's how it calls basically. And now I'm gonna get some trees from the marketplace. So if I go here on Real Marketplace, we can look for Megascans trees, and I'm going to use, I think, this one here, European, yeah, the hornbeam, one of my favorites. So I can add to project or purchase if you don't have it, and add it to my project. Oh, it's not here because it's this up to 5.3, but we can add it anyway. If I add it just here, where is it? This one here, add to project. Now show all projects, and then go into Wood Lodge. Let's just select version 5.3 and add to project. So it's going to take some time to download, so I'll jump back when this is done. So while this downloads, we can just, I guess we can add some rocks to our project. So let's go Quixel Bridge, and then look for 3D assets, then nature, then I guess we can select this rock, and we got we got some Nordic forests here we can use. Let's select some of this. Are these large? Yeah, they are large. So probably small ones is what we need. Or we can even resize them then afterwards. So I'm gonna download into nanite quality, but we might need to change the way we do the texturing size, just because it's gonna start saying that memory buffer is not enough. So just going to bring one more here and then add them to the project. So it's going to download that. And also, I think it's a good time when this is done to explore a little bit of physics and how we can bring some randomness to this to the placement of those rocks, and not these ones, but just the small ones here. I think, let me see if there is any other type of rock we can add. Maybe this small granite. So I'm gonna select this, all of this. So this mossy rock and pretty much granite and forest rock. I think that should be fine, just so it's not putting too much pressure on our system and our hard drive, because the trees already are gonna bring like, I don't know, like 11 gigabytes into our project. So once this downloads and the other stuff, I'm just gonna jump back when all of this is done. Okay, so I think everything is in place, so I can now select, well, I can't select them all, but I can add them in. I always take a little bit of time to bring those assets, so don't worry. I'm just going to add them on and then jump back. Okay, finally, some of these assets has been brought to our project, and I just selected some of these rocks. Don't worry if it's not the same as you downloaded. We just work along with what we got. And something I realized is that all these textures are 8K, so this is going to get pretty much slow, and probably that's the reason it took so long also to do the nanite application of those rocks. So what I'm gonna do is to go into 3D assets, go all these assets here, all these textures. We can even filter here, so for clarity. Well, not all of these textures, probably just this texture here. And then right click, go into asset actions, and then edit selection in property matrix. So for all of them, I want to set this texture. Let me just, the compression thing, or maximum texture size is here in the compressions. And I'm gonna set this to 2048. And this probably take a little bit as well, just to compress all these textures. But we really don't need to have 8K textures and all of this. It's gonna make our project slow, and it's gonna reduce our FPS. And also, unless we are doing like a really close-up shot of those rocks, I don't think it's worth having it at 8K. And times, like even 4K doesn't justify, because it's not something that we want to, to give a lot of attention to. The main purpose in here is the building that we want to showcase. So I'm just gonna wait till this is done. Don't worry if it takes some time, just grab a cup of tea or water and let's come back to it. So it took about, I would say, 5 minutes to process this and then save all these assets. And also what I'm going to do now that I'm here doing all this process as well, let's see if this is AK as well, this European, yeah, pretty much all of them are AK. So probably I'm just gonna go into textures here on the trunk. Well, I think, well, let's try see if there is no issues, but I reckon that at some point this will not cause issues, but maybe it's gonna show some error message in here. So this is the European hornbeam, the trees that I downloaded. So I'm gonna go into foliage, simple win. Then I'm gonna drag, oh, it's not this one, sorry, it's the geometry is what I needed. Simple win, and then select them all. And I'm just going to drag them. And again, it's going to take a little bit, I would say about 4 minutes to do this, but at least the engine has processed all these assets, and every time we just drop them in, they're gonna be fine, they're gonna be in the engine in this project. So just let it run, and then we can come back to it in a few minutes. Okay, so I reckon that it took about 5 minutes to bring all of them in. So now this is all together, but I know at least that these are now available for use. I'm just gonna delete them. And something I'm gonna do here that I think it wasn't safe when I did it before is to add them into a static mesh folder here. So this is my folder here. This one can go into a landscape folder as well. And this point light, well, I'm not gonna use it just now. Yeah, not for the moment. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, now what we want to do, we want to work on this terrain, and I think I'm going to look for some other, like a floor, like this rocky forest maybe. I think I've got, yeah, some like this root and this forest terrain. So yeah, everything that looks like this you can download also, and we can add it into our project. So I know this is a little bit tedious and some bit, and some might get excited that all of these assets are there for the grab, which is also really nice. So let's just drag this in and let's work around our landscape. So this is the daunting part, just getting all the assets and downloading and all the process that needs to be done to do that. So maybe if we got this into a project and then we migrate to this project, maybe the process is gonna be easier. But downloading from Megascan, yeah, it take a while to process, even if it's downloaded. So I'm just gonna get these terrains here, and then we're gonna start working on our landscape. And even I think we even can explore a little bit of PCG just to help us with the tree around the area. And then at the center or around our main building, we can just do like a